Tonight, a community in shock as 85 graves, mostly Muslim children and babies, are desecrated in an attack police are calling horrendous. Plaques were destroyed, flower pots broken and posts pulled from the ground, leaving many parents unable to comprehend how their children's final resting place could be treated with such anger.
It's hard to come to the cemetery already to visit your dead because it makes you miss them. But to hear news like this, it's even harder.
The London Council making domestic abuse training mandatory for all staff. We catch up with the former GP athlete ahead of his bucket list marathon moment, all to highlight motor neurone disease. And
it doesn't matter that the sun is hiding behind a cloud because I have found somewhere horizontal and I've got the view of thousands of tulips. Come and join me in a few minutes.
good evening. We start tonight with a cruel act of vandalism that saw dozens of Muslim grave sites, the resting places of babies and small children, desecrated near Watford. More than 80 graves in a Muslim burial section at Carpenter's Park Cemetery were targeted in the attack, condemned as cowardly by local officials. As police investigate, those who have loved ones buried there are forced to come to terms with yet more devastation, even after death. Our correspondent Simon Harris reports.
In a Muslim burial ground in Hertfordshire, dozens of graves have been vandalised. Name plaques pulled up or knocked over, some broken beyond repair. Maria's first baby died during childbirth 16 years ago. She was close to tears when she saw the damage to her daughter's grave.
It's hard to come to the cemetery already to visit your dead because it makes you miss them. But to hear news like this, it's even harder.
At the grave of another baby girl, the family discovered smashed flower pots.
The pots that we had in my niece's grave have been broken. We'd normally come, sit here, pray, clean up her grave, but due to it being a crime scene right now, we're not allowed to touch anything.
I came to visit my father and I discovered that his name plaque had been knocked and removed from its position, and it's actually the wooden pole is snapped.
Coming to see my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and their graves being affected like this, really sad, really sad.
The Carpenter's Park Lawn Cemetery near Watford belongs to the London Borough of Brent. Brent Council said up to 100 Muslim graves had been targeted in what appeared to be an Islamophobic hate crime. The council said it was working with the police to beef up security. The cemetery doesn't have CCTV cameras. Hertfordshire Constabulary said a large number of the damaged graves were the last resting place of babies and young children.
The police are absolutely treating it as a hate crime. I wanted to assure everyone in the Muslim community, right, that this is absolutely being taken seriously, and where we can, we will hold those perpetrators to account.
Police were alerted to the attack yesterday morning and word quickly got around.
I absolutely cannot understand how anyone could desecrate a graveyard, somewhere that's supposed to be for peace and serenity.
Brent Council has promised to repair the damage.
Can't fathom why someone would do something like this, to be honest.
I just cannot comprehend this just yet. It's a bit early for, to process this.
I just hope that they caught and they pay the price for this.
Obviously losing a baby is hard enough, and then you think she's at peace, you're at peace with it finally, and then something like this happens. It's just, I don't know, I just want answers about what's happening, what's happened.
A cemetery is supposed to be somewhere the bereaved can find comfort, but at Carpenter's Park Lawn, families were facing yet more sadness and anger. Simon Harris, ITV News, Watford.
Next, Hampstead and Highgate MP Tulip says she's the subject of an international smear campaign following reports that authorities in Bangladesh have issued a warrant for her arrest. She's been investigated by the country's Anti-Corruption Commission over her family ties to politicians there. Antoine Allen has joined us in the studio to talk more about this. So how did this all start, Antoine?
Well, Tulip Siddique comes from a political family. Her aunt Shekina, was disposed as Bangladesh's Prime Minister in August. Since then, Bangladeshi officials have been looking into the former Prime Minister's affairs whilst in office, with allegations of billions of pounds of corruptions, allegations she denies. Now, Bangladesh's Anti-Corruption Commission has been investigating allegations MP Tulip Siddique and her other family members illegally received land as a part of a wider investigation into her aunt. Over the weekend, an arrest warrant with more than 50 names on it was issued, including the MP for Hampstead and Highgate, and was reported in Bangladeshi media. Today, the Labour MP described the arrest warrant as a smear campaign, and she denies all claims.
No one from the Bangladeshi authorities has contacted me. The entire time, they've done trial by media. My lawyers proactively wrote to the Bangladeshi authorities. They never responded. I'm sure you'll understand, I can't dignify this politically motivated smear campaign with any contacts or any comments. It's a completely politically motivated smear campaign trying to harass me. There is no evidence that I've done anything wrong.
There's no formal extradition agreement between Bangladesh and the UK. Tulip Siddique will be able to plead her innocence and remain in the capital. A spokesperson for Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said he would not comment on individual cases.
OK, Antoine, thanks very much. A man's been charged with murder following the death of his wife in Lewisham. 45-year-old Hien Thi Vu was found seriously injured yesterday morning in Hatfield Close and was pronounced dead at the scene. Her husband, Hai Van Nguyen, who's 41, was later arrested and charged. A school in Walthamstow has been evacuated after receiving an online threat. St Mary's Church of England Primary School was sent a concerning email this morning. That's according to local MP Stella Creasy. The nursery there has chosen to relocate as a precautionary measure, although no pupils were attending the school today, of course, because of the Easter holidays. A man accused of climbing up the clock tower of Big Ben and staying there for more than 16 hours has pleaded not guilty to public nuisance and trespass. Daniel Day is accused of scaling the Elizabeth Tower on the 8th of March. He pleaded not guilty to one count of intentionally or recklessly causing a public nuisance and trespassing on a protected site when he appeared at Southwark Crown Court on Monday. Next, a council in East London has become the first to make domestic abuse training mandatory for its staff. Redbridge Council's 2,500 officers will learn how to identify the often subtle signs that someone is a victim of abuse and how to safely respond and report it. With an estimated 10,000 people experiencing domestic abuse in Redbridge every year, survivors say intervention is crucial, as Siham Ali reports.
Amina, not her real name, lost her strength and freedom during an 11-year marriage to someone who controlled every part of her life. Although her scars were not visible, she says a second glance could have saved her sooner.
He didn't want me to be independent, no education, didn't want me to have a car, shopping, he wanted to do everything. I couldn't wear what I wanted to wear. I couldn't go to places what I wanted to do, or the way I wanted to live my life. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't take it anymore.
What do you think needs to be changed? And
knowledge. All the frontline workers need to be educated around domestic abuse over and over again.
So this morning we are launching our e-learning module on domestic abuse.
Today, Redbridge Council has made domestic abuse training mandatory for all frontline workers in the borough, meaning survivors like Amina will be given more of a fighting chance.
Domestic abuse is hugely prevalent. We know that 2 to 3 women a week are dying from domestic abuse, and we also know that up to 8 women a week, it's estimated, are dying by suicide to escape domestic abuse. So I think people won't always recognise domestic abuse because some of the signs are quite subtle, and I think when we played the training this morning and when we had the interactive session with colleagues from the council, it was obvious that they wouldn't necessarily have spotted signs previously, and this just shows how important it is to train all council staff.
In the last 6 months alone, Redbridge Council received over 900 referrals to their domestic abuse service, 91 of which were self-referrals. The council says the need for a front line that knows what it's looking for is critical in this borough.
We deal with lots of vulnerable people, and we deal with lots of people in need, and alongside those needs are other issues that arise, and it's about recognising those aspects because they are there, but if we don't ask the questions, if we don't know the tools to understand what's going on, then our staff could miss that.
Amina has now dedicated her life to making sure victims of domestic abuse get the help she never received. Siham Ali, ITV News.
And if you're someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, there are helplines and resources on our website. That's itv.com/London. Right, still to come on the programme. The Deep South meets the undead in a new period thriller. We're live at the premiere in Leicester Square and...
You'll never guess where I am. Not in the sticks, not in Amsterdam. I'm in Hounslow, where they've gone to town on tulips.
But first, it's less than 2 weeks to go until the streets of central London are lined with thousands of cheerleaders, motivating runners of all levels along the 26 miles of the London Marathon. If you're one of them, then do keep an eye out for former British international athlete Alex Gibson, who's from Essex. He's been living with motor neurone disease for 7 years and founded the charity Challenging MND to help others who've received a diagnosis. Now he's preparing for a bucket list moment, walking across the London Marathon finish line. Callum Fairhurst has the story.
Every step for Alex is a challenge in itself. Motor neurone disease is destroying his body, but not his spirit. The former Great British decathlete from Essex now has to work hard for every metre he walks. But the London Marathon, well, he's just going to take that in his stride.
Having motor neurone disease is cool to everyone. Whereas, I'm lucky to be booking this failed. I've had motor neurone disease more it's to push them despite adversity.
Alex, despite wanting to do the whole thing, is walking the first mile and last mile of the London Marathon course and being pushed around by his friends in the middle. With motor neurone disease making it difficult for him to even move, it won't be easy. But then again, Alex is used to a challenge. He's raised millions for others with the condition, whether that's climbing the 3 peaks and cycling between them, or rowing every hour for 24 hours straight.
We're all super proud of him. He's always pushing himself to the limit. Sometimes too much. We can't tell him that that's enough. He won't stop, but he's determined to do things. So we just have to kind of support him and encourage him along the way.
And you can see that determination in his training, every single day walking through his garden.
I try not to fall over. I fall over 3 times every day, and I walk every day. Mad. I try not to leave my balance as well.
And as we were filming his daily walk,
okay?
Good. He wanted us to show you this to prove how difficult life can be with MND. But when Alex gets knocked down, he gets right back up again. He says nothing will stop him. Alex is hoping his marathon will raise £10,000 to support those living with the condition. His children are sure he'll smash that target.
It's very good how he can do these challenges and he doesn't stop. And yeah, it's a good influence to look up on.
Yeah, I'm very proud he's come a long way and he's nearly raised up to 2 million. So I'm very proud of him.
When Alex Gibson was diagnosed with MND, he said he wanted to create a legacy his family will be proud of. Well, I don't think he needs to worry about that. Callum Fairhurst, ITV News.
Next, Leicester Square is warming up the premiere of a new film from the director responsible for blockbusters like Black Panther and Creed. Sinners is a genre-bending epic, combining the drama of the 1930s Deep South with the thrill of the supernatural. Rags Martel is on the red carpet with one of the stars. But before we get to him, let's take a look at what to expect.
Be careful. I will. I've been all over this world. I ain't ever seen no ghosts. Till now. Now get back inside.
Oh, it looks great, Rags. And you've got Jack O'Connell there with you, haven't you?
That's right. I'm with one of the sinners now. Jack, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
This movie, a musical vampire set in 1920s America. What's going on?
All sorts, man. All sorts. It is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I heard there's lots of blood and guts, not surprisingly for a horror movie, but behind the scenes, a lot of laughter.
A lot of laughter, a lot of good times. It was a very tough shoot. It had to be Louisiana, the Deep South, tough country. But something great was forged down there, you know. Alligators notwithstanding.
Mad. And we've seen you grow up in Skins, of course, but this is a kind of weird departure for you because you're playing the bad guy who bites people and also dancing and singing. What was that like?
Listen, I was living my best Beyonce life out there, you know. Everyone was at the top of their game, all of the consultants, the music producers. They're so good, they get a tune out of anyone. So I was in good hands. Sad it's over, man.
Is it weird when you get a script and you go like, I've got to dance and sing?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I wouldn't be the first choice. But it was, listen, you can imagine it. Imagine my surprise when I was reading it. But amazing fun.
And is it weird, strange playing a really bad guy?
As in what way?
Well, someone who bites people, who drinks blood and wants their blood, that's pretty bad.
By virtue of being a vampire.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all in the job requirements. So, yeah.
I heard you had to be a vampire, but you had to be quite empathetic at the same time. So is that quite hard to do?
Not really, no. It was. I think this is all Ryan Coogler's creation, right? So my character was a brainchild of Ryan Coogler. He was the bad guy, but there was more depth to him. He's much more multi-dimensional. I think to my character's mind, he's the protagonist of the story, which is a lovely little pocket to be playing in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And how does it feel? I mean, look at this. Look, there's this fire, massive budget Hollywood movie.
This morning and
does this feel real?
Bonkers. Bonkers, yeah.
One weird thing about this movie, it's shot on IMAX and should really be seen on a big IMAX screen. Like London's one of the few places you can watch it like as it's meant to be. But your other movie, 28 years later, was shot on an iPhone 15. That's mad. Was that difference between the two?
Oh, big time. Yeah, big time. I was fortunate that I got to finish this and go straight onto that with Danny. Danny Boyle. Yeah. Very different kit though. Big IMAX cameras, very noisy things compared to an iPhone. Yeah, it was a definite contrast. Yeah.
And what's next for you?
I'm off to Australia, man. On Sunday.
More work.
I'm counting down the nights at the moment. It's devastating. It's just getting beautiful here as well. And I'm off down to Oz, which is also beautiful.
Not bad. Thank you so much, Chris. Back to Charlene. Thank you for not biting me.
Jack!
Jack, sorry. Jack. Sorry.
Thanks very much, Rags and Jack. Right, sticking with celebs, theatre star Papa Asiedu has been added to the already impressive lineup of actors set to appear in the upcoming Harry Potter series. The actor from Walthamstow, who's also appeared in I Will Destroy You and Gangs of London, will portray the ominous Professor Severus Snape. The HBO series will see an all-new cast as it moves away from the film franchise and is expected to run for a decade. So it may have felt like summer over the weekend, but spring definitely returned today. And Sally is in the middle of some of the season's most impressive flowers over in Hounslow. Aren't you, Sal?
I am. Do you know, Shah, you probably know this already. Definitely got the volume to sell tulips. Oh, I'm going backwards, but I am not that way anyway, got the physical aptitude, right? You stay there. This place is unreal. Look at it, it's covered in tulips. They're all that way, they're that way. Now, Hobbledown Heath is known for its kids' playground. It's also known for having animals, but tulips is a new thing, it's a diversion. And do you know how many they have planted of these guys? 400,000. I am not joking, that's epic, isn't it? And they've got more than 100 varieties. And I came here a little bit earlier today and spoke to some people who have this new beautiful attraction right on their doorstep in Hounslow. What do you think of the tulips?
Beautiful, they're lovely, look.
Have Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, surprise, surprise.
Oh, like
For a
Cilla Black. Colours.
The colours are beautiful. It's just like Holland in
Hounslow.
Hounslow.
Holland in Hounslow.
Holland in Hounslow, it rhymes.
What do you think of all the tulips?
Yeah, they're so good.
They're beautiful. And are you selling them? Is that what you're doing now?
No, probably not, because I still have to become like 18 years old.
That kid was so cute, a lot more talented than me. And Holland and Hounslow, I really love that. And they have got the windmill there to... Right, let's come over here and speak to Caroline. Now, Caroline, first of all, oh, we can hear the flights coming over, but first of all, congratulations. What a brave thing to do, to plant 400,000 tulips bulbs. Why did you decide to do it?
We wanted to bring something different to West London.
Yeah.
London's first ever tulip patch. We were super excited. It's the first time doing it, and we're really pleased with it. Our guests are loving it, and next year we hope to be even bigger and better.
Because we've seen people do this with lavender and sunflowers, but this is the new Instagram moment, is it?
Yeah, and there's loads of opportunities here to take lots of different photo points. People can really enjoy, take the Instagram moments that they want to, and it's so accessible for people with public transport.
And I've seen kids covered in marshmallows, so there's marshmallows that you can melt here too. Just briefly, the weather. I mean, we had a really cold winter and then it's been so dry. I'd be terrified with all those tulips. Was it all right?
So it was great because that warm weather meant that we had our tulips bloom much earlier than expected, and we actually had to open 6 days early.
Oh my goodness, you must have been absolutely thrilled. And how long have you got left of all this?
We've got at least 2 weeks left where people will be able to enjoy it and come along.
Okay, fabulous. Well, there you go. Thank you, Caroline. Lovely to see you. Good luck with it all. It really is so pretty. I can't believe there's 400,000 of them. Holland in Hounslow. Who'd have thought? So get yourself over here, have a look, and let's just hope the weather holds up. Do you know what? It's not too bad this week. Let's take a look. Here we go.
ITV London weekday weather is sponsored by Octopus, the renewable energy company.
The tulips aren't the only things that are beautiful at the moment. It's gorgeous, dear. What a stunning photo. And the blossom, the cherry blossom is peaking. So lots of lovely things to look at outside. However, the weather, it's a bit of a mixture. So tomorrow we've got some sunny spells coming through the cloud, but also the risk of showers. It's a bit more settled for Wednesday and Thursday, and then into the end of the week becoming more unsettled again. And there is the risk of some rain over the weekend. Let's take a look at the pressure chart. So tomorrow we've got that low pressure edging its way northwards, and then a bit of a respite for Wednesday and Thursday. But for Friday, low pressure, you can see, becoming more influential once again. And that's the story for the weekend. At the moment, it's been chopping and changing a bit, so definitely keep an eye on the forecast. Right, for the rest of this evening, well, we have still got some cloud out here, a few breaks for that sunshine to come through. Overnight, we're seeing a bit of rain move in to the east in particular, but possibly more central parts as well, and it could be quite heavy. The bulk of it heads off by the end of the night. Temperatures with the cloud likely in some spots to stay up in double figures. So tomorrow morning won't be too cold, but early doors, some cloud around and still a few bits and pieces of rain. That clears off and will dry up, and we might get a bit of sunshine coming through, but that could trigger a few more showers, and some of those could be a little bit potent. So it's hit and miss, but probably worth taking an umbrella just in case. But hopefully you'll avoid them and stay dry. But if you've got a garden, it might get a little bit of rain, so fingers crossed for that, because no doubt it needs it. Temperatures very similar to today, and then as we go through into the evening, the winds pick up. That low pressure out to the west gradually starts to pull away as we go through Wednesday. So as I said, Wednesday and Thursday not looking too bad at the moment. Temperatures about average, and then it becomes more changeable into the bank holiday weekend. We will, of course, keep you up to date. But for now, from me and the beautiful tulips, all thousands of them, have a super evening. Cheerio.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Oh, thanks to Sally for that. But that's it from us. The evening news is next, of course, with Mary. But from all of us in the London team, enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.